Today on Cruiseman's Garage, I've invited Robert White to bring his 2023 Goldwing over so we can install the Traxxion tip-over protection onto his bike.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
Okay, so today we're going to be installing these Traxxion tip-over protectors onto Robert White's motorcycle. Here is one for the saddlebag. I've got the other ones over here. They're still in the package, actually. I just took this one out. This is for the rear view mirrors, and we're going to see if we can figure out how to install these on his 2023 Honda Goldwing. It should be fun. They also have given us some replacement adhesive strips just in case we screw something up or in case one gets damaged, I guess. And then these are the little ampules that for prepping the primer that you put on the paint before you apply the adhesives. So they give you plenty of these. I think they give you 3 or 4 extras. So we're good to go, I think. First, I go over all of the painted surfaces with a microfiber cloth and isopropyl alcohol. This is to remove any wax or grease that might be remaining on the surface before we put the adhesive promoter on. Next, we start practicing with some test fitting to see how the pieces are going to line up.
I don't know how far.
Well, he said about 2 or 3 millimeters from this corner.
Okay.
So he said do a little test fit before you stick it down, just like that. That looks good right there.
I think so too, and that feels like it's pretty solid right on that crease. You're right. I think that's great, just like that. Like he's saying, just get it right on the back end over here.
Okay.
Right below the ridge.
Just
like
right,
that.
Right.
Because if it falls, you know, that's going to hit first.
But this should be kind of right on the ridge, this point.
I agree.
Okay. Okay, so we're kind of test fitting this left side mirror. And it's supposed to go, he says, about this edge. You start on this edge and it's about half. Of course, it's got a little
look at that.
curve in it. And he said it goes about halfway over this black piece. The way he explained it, from what I can tell, yeah.
I mean, it really fits.
I mean, it almost has to go on that corner, doesn't it? Because it's got a bend in it.
Yeah, it does.
So it has to fit on that corner. And he said kind of hold this out, but it has to go down farther.
Yeah.
More like that, I think. When you just kind of tack that down.
Right like that.
Kind of like, does that look, or does this?
Well, you're bending.
Is this too high?
No, you're bending that. I think it ought.
Okay, let me try here to see. I had my laptop out in the garage, and Robert and I took one last look at Max's video just to make sure we weren't missing anything. Wanted to make sure we were following his instructions because there were no instructions included with the kit that I received. So we were relying on his video for installation information. I think the key to a successful installation of this product is just to be patient and take your time. Okay, well, I'm here with Robert. He is checking out the lineup of this mirror piece that goes on, the protection, tip-over protection. We're just kind of practicing right now before we put the adhesive on, just to make sure everything is lined up and centered, and yeah, I think that looks real good. Now, I've got a little surprise for Robert. He might be under the impression that I'm going to do this. But I'm the cameraman.
He doesn't want the liability.
I don't want the liability, and I'll tell you why. I'll bring you over here to my computer.
Okay.
I put this cover on my computer, and Robert's got one on his computer too.
Yep.
And mine is all screwed up.
Oh no.
Robert's is perfect. So I think he's got a steadier hand than I do.
All right.
If it was my bike, I'd screw it up. But
well, I'm happy.
Robert's bike. He's going to screw it up.
Happy to help.
And so we'll just, between the two of us, maybe we can figure out how to get this done. I'm going to hit it one more time with alcohol, just to make sure we don't have any wax or grease on there. I'm using 70% isopropyl. I'm sure you could use 90%. Would be fine too. And I'm cleaning a little above and a little below. He did also say to make sure you clean your hands really good with alcohol to get, so I'll give you some to,
Okay.
you want just a little bit to kind of get your fingertips.
There we go. Yeah.
So that we don't get any excess grease on anything. Also want to mention something else. Here's the little ampule that we're going to use that has the primer in it from 3M. And we're going to put that on there, and that kind of helps build up the adhesiveness or the adhesion of this piece. Apparently you crush this right there, and then the liquid will start flowing down to that little cotton tip.
Okay.
And then you just want to
Go over the whole area.
He said, only go over it once. Don't, keep going back and forth over it. It'll get kind of sticky.
Push it right here, right? He said.
I said you'd hear it. There you go.
Just like
And
that.
if you kind of hold it up, it should start.
Yeah, there it is. I can see it.
Yeah, I see it coming
Change the
down.
color. Get all the way out here on this edge.
Yeah, and if you go over, we can always clean it off with alcohol, he said.
Okay.
I try to hold it kind of up so it keeps flowing down that tube a
I
little.
see.
It's hard for me to see it going on. Can you see it?
I can see it going on.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, good.
Does it need to cure for any length of time?
It needs to dry, but it doesn't take long.
Okay.
So that should be good. We'll probably go ahead and do the other mirror while we're at it. And that way they both can be drying. And that dries almost immediately, and I'm going to come over here and he said you don't have to, it's not like you have to do this within 5 minutes after it dries. It can, there's no real limit as to how long you can wait.
Yeah.
Once it's dry, you could do it six hours later if you wanted to. I think he said something about going around. I don't know why, because you're not going to stick around the corner. Okay.
Tack this down first.
You tack this down first. You kind of hold it kind of like this, kind of hold it out with your hand.
To keep it away.
Keep this from, because he says if that tacks down,
It's done.
It's done. It's stuck. So I think you'd want to start with that edge about just beyond that, where that black is, and halfway up and down like that. You'll be able to see it better when you get down.
So you've done this before, I think. I mean, not this particular thing, but these kind of applications. I say we peel back a little bit of this, and
You could certainly do that. I don't
And
see
then
why
peel it
I don't
as
see
you go.
why that would matter. It seems to me like that would be safer. He didn't do that, but it seems to me like that would be
yeah, just peel it as you go.
just peel it back as you need it.
Oh, fine. See, I would peel it back like that.
And then maybe even crimp it a little. Just kind of put a little bend in it so it'll stay there.
All right, let's.
Moment of truth here.
All right, we're gonna want to.
I can get this out of your way if you need it.
Top to bottom. Ooh, you ain't kidding. All right, that's got it from top to bottom.
And it's on that ridge.
It is on that ridge.
Okay, good. You don't have to press. I wouldn't press it too hard. Just tack it down enough,
All right.
and then
He said, then get ready to bend it here at your, what he was calling the inflection point.
that little.
And we're gonna get it centered top to bottom here too.
Right.
Peeling as we go. Just reminds me of those red pinstripes for the wheels.
Yes. This is probably better than that.
I don't think you can go wrong.
That looks
really.
pretty darn good right there.
Thank you. Now, what do you say about pressing it down?
Then go ahead
Hold
and, then go ahead and mash it down good. So I was just telling Robert, the only thing we did differently than Max is, did I put that on there?
No,
Or- oh, that's
it's
the
from
primer.
the primer, yeah.
Is that we didn't fold the mirrors in toward the body on the first mirror. We're going to try it that way with the second mirror because it probably does make it a little easier.
I'm just gonna peel it part way and crimp it down so that we don't accidentally stick
The tail
the
end.
tail end of it. All right. And then I want to get it squared up top to bottom first. Let's see, where's that ridge? That ridge is right there. All right. It's top to bottom, right about there. And then I just want to peel this back as I go. And we get down to this inflection point, and we want to bend it slightly up. Still peeling. And I want to make sure and get it top to bottom equal
Yeah,
on this trim.
kind of the same distance from the
Yeah, you can feel it.
painted part.
You
Yeah.
can feel the ridge of the mirror.
Nothing like having a camera stuck in your way.
That's okay. If you put your fingers on there, you can really feel the
The
equidistance.
distance.
I'm holding that out until I get where I think it's halfway. I mean, it doesn't have to be an exact science. It really
That looks
is more
pretty good.
aesthetics than function,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Oh, absolutely. But it still looks nicer.
There we go.
Yeah, that looks good.
I do think that was easier with the mirror folded in.
Okay.
Now, clearly I'm better at this since I'm wearing my Cruiseman gear
Yeah.
today, you know, so.
Yeah, he's got his Shadow Wing polo shirt
Polo
on,
shirt on today.
which makes a big difference. You can't really do this without that. It would be useless. Okay, these are not really marked at all, left to right, so you know that you have the correct one. This small angle here, this little flat spot, goes on top. So this would not fit on the left side like that. That would be wrong because you'd have the long piece on top. You want that little short, and it's going to come in here kind of almost to that corner, but not quite.
Oh, that's why it can go over that ridge. You see it's got a...
It does. It is marked left and right.
It is, and it's got a valley in there.
And it does have a little valley, so it actually goes over the ridge. Robert and I are referring to the ridge as this body line or seam that runs down the entire length of the saddlebag lid. On your saddlebag, at least at the front of the saddlebag. Now at the back, it kind of tapers down and goes underneath the ridge.
Yeah, that ridge stops right there. So the last 4 inches of that has no ridge in it.
Right.
So,
Well, we're sitting on the ground, just so you know.
all right. And he said
about 2 to 3 millimeters from the edge. So I think if you get it just, and you want to use this line right here
to line up.
to line up with that black part of your saddlebag.
All right. Where's the hole? Like that. So what's 2 or 3? What do you say, 2 or 3?
Well, I'd say
further forward.
I'd say that's pretty close right there.
Right.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got all that leverage to kind of straighten this and line it up with this black, if you need to, a little bit.
Not bad.
It's pretty,
All right.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
So let's do our little trick of just pulling this a little ways as we tack it down a little more. And we are, he said, going to go right underneath the ridge back here.
Right, just under the underside of that
I'm
ridge.
going to go ahead and pull it all off
Okay.
so that I can see the ridge. And back here at this end, just going to go beneath the ridge a little bit. I think we're past the point of no return here, but I think it looks good.
Does look good.
Yeah, we're below the ridge over here. So if the bike falls over,
Right.
this is going to be angled such it hits the ground first.
Right.
And it's more, I think it gives it strength to be on the bottom side of this ridge
I think so.
than on the top side of it.
And honestly, it kind of,
See what it looks like.
I think it kind of enhances the look of the bike, really.
I think it does too. Boy, he did a good job of designing that.
He did. Robert followed the exact same procedure, test fitting, and then applying the left saddlebag protector.
I think I did quite as good a job getting that squared away.
You might be able to push it up a little. He said sometimes you have a little bit of flexibility in tweaking it a little before it fully cures. Yeah, that looks pretty.
Yeah, I've pushed it up. That's why.
Yeah, that looks better.
Just take that down. There we go. So it's going to come right back here. Oh,
I'd go up just a hair. It's a little below. There you go. Yeah, that looks good.
okay. Like,
Well, not bad. It looks pretty straight to me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
that's money. That is money right there.
All right.
You look at it down the side, it looks almost perfectly straight.
So when you get ready to put one on yours, call me. I'll do the alignment.
Yeah, it'll be Robert White's garage from now on.
No, you don't.
Cruiseman is now officially
I
retired.
certainly don't mind helping.
I'm just a cameraman now.
If I can do anything for you, buddy.
Yeah, it looks great. So while Robert's getting his helmet ready, I had one other surprise he was unaware of, and that is we're now going to ask him to drop his bike and see if these things actually work.
We're going to test this out right here, are we?
Yeah. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Home, folks. Another happy customer leaves Cruiseman's garage. Hey, just want to thank Robert for bringing his 2023 Goldwing out here today, letting me use it as a donor bike, I guess you could say, for that Traxxion tip-over protection. Now, some of you asked me why I didn't put the tip-over protection on my 2018 Honda Goldwing, and the reason is because I spent a lot of time putting the ceramic coat on my motorcycle, and that adhesive will not stick if you've got ceramic coating. It probably would stick, but it ain't going to stick reliably. So Max does not recommend it, and I didn't want to have to remove the ceramic coating and redo it. Robert does not have the ceramic coating on his motorcycle, so it was a good fit. It was a good opportunity, and I'll just have to figure out what to do with mine later on. Anyway, thanks again, Robert, for letting us use your bike today. And if you haven't been to Robert White's YouTube channel. You need to check it out. And I'll put a link in the description of the video and also up in the corner of this video as well. I don't know which corner, but it'll be in one of these corners. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help the YouTube rankings. And I will see you on the next Cruiseman's Garage video. Until then, remember what I always say, ride often, but ride safe. See you soon.